Hello, welcome to The View from the IDB. I'm here with the Panama's Economy and Finance Minister, Dulcidio De La Guardia. Thank you so much for meeting with me. So obviously we have to talk about the Panama Papers, the leak that came out from law firm Mossack Fonseca, which has put Panama really in the middle of an offshore storm. What is the impact that the leak is very likely to have on Panama's financial center?
Well, clearly the publication is having a reputational damage to the country. And I think I want to remind the audience of all the efforts that Panama has made very recently to improve the transparency of Panama's financial system. Back in 2014, in June 2014, Panama was included in the FATF gray list. We worked very hard with the private sector in Panama between July 2014 and January 2016 to upgrade the legal framework regarding anti-money laundering and the financing of terrorism. We passed 5 new laws through Congress in Panama. We adopted the specific regulation for all the new laws. There are 25 new non-financial industries that are subject to the regulation now. And we created a new institution to supervise the non-financial industries' compliance with the law. All of this was actually recognized by FATF. They sent a on-site visit in January of this year to Panama. And later on, in the plenary meetings of FATF in Paris of this year, Panama was removed from the gray list because of the concrete actions that we have taken to actually upgrade the legal framework.
And now you're back on blacklists.
Well, we are no. Panama is out of the gray list of FATF. France has included Panama in the tax haven list of France.
So not on FATF, but on others are perceiving you as a place that needs to be on a blacklist, which is obviously damaging, at very least in terms of reputation. Do you think that you can come back from this, and how?
Well, clearly what we are doing is, first, let me remind the audience that even though this firm Mossack Fonseca was headquartered in Panama, the vast majority of the offshore structures that they sold were not Panamanians, were from 21 different jurisdictions. We are responsible for the 40,000 Panamanian companies that they sold, but we are not responsible for the 150,000 BVI companies that this company sold.
And of course, a lot of the cases leaked, they still have to be deemed whether breaking any laws or not. So it doesn't necessarily mean that because there was some activity going through the offshore center that this activity was illegal in any way. So there are still a few question marks around those files, right?
Well, actually, again, I think we need to look at the concrete steps that we have taken as a country to improve the transparency of the financial system. I want to that we have recently upgraded all the legal framework of the country on this respect. And the legal framework actually complies with the international standards. And we are enforcing that legal framework, making sure that the legal framework and the actors, the industries comply with it.
What's the reaction of the other part of the financial services sector in Panama to the leak?
Well, so far the financial center in Panama has remained very stable. In terms of the spreads of the Panamanian bonds in the international market are also stable. We haven't seen any widening of the spreads. And the liquidity of the banks in Panama remains very stable. So far, we have not seen any impact. However, I do have to say, again, that this publication is having a significant reputational damage to the country.
So how do you plan to tackle on this reputational damage? How do you plan to repair it? Through perhaps communication, roadshows around the world to talk about the country? What is the plan at the moment?
No, the plan at the moment first is to speed up the dialogue with the OECD on the tax information exchange. I want to remind the audience that President Varela, in his speech to the United Nations last year in the General Assembly, he made the compromise that Panama will, by 2018, will become part of the automatic exchange of information effort. So we're going to speed up our discussions with the OECD on this front. And we will continue to tell the story of Panama. We feel very proud of all the things we have done in the last 18 months since we took office to improve the transparency of the financial system and make sure that our country is not used by organized crime to carry out their activities.
The conversations you have been having, I'm sure that most people are asking about this here at the IDB, led you to believe that the rest of the world is probably looking at this issue with an optimistic, with a hopeful eye, or are you receiving mostly criticism? Which is the kind of feedback that you're getting from here?
No, I'm getting support. I have been very actively discussing with government officials and IDB officials and rating agencies what's going on, and I'm telling them what Panama is planning to do, and they are supporting our efforts in this front. Okay.
Very well. Well, thank you very much for your comment, Minister. Thank you.